My name's Carl Hinder and you're listening to the Salon Help Good to Go podcast, the podcast for salon and spa owners who are looking to grow. The only thing stopping you is you. Episode 48. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. And welcome to another episode. In fact, welcome to almost the first episode of 2024. I know I'm getting excited, getting a little bit ahead of myself here. But most people will be listening to this in the first few days of 2024. Now, it only seems like a few podcasts ago, it was probably 20 or 30 in reality, that we were saying, let's get ready for Christmas. Let's get ready for this peak time of the year. And there's all these opportunities, and you went off and you did things like organize extra hours and extra staffing and promotions and social medias and, oh God, all sorts of stuff. Now, if you did that, I have to think about why you haven't done it this month. Did you? Perhaps you have, right? And congratulations, well done. If you are one of those people who does it for Christmas but not the rest of the year, have a think why. Because you're going to take a lot more money, by the way, in the next 11 months than you ever will in the 3 or 4 weeks of Christmas. And one of those weeks, most salons are closed down anyway. Why don't we apply the same, energy, the same enthusiasm, the same logic, the same entrepreneurial spirit to the other 11 months? Now, if you didn't plan anything at all and you don't know what to do, go back to podcast 45, episode 45, when I talk about autopsies. And it's really important that you do that this week whilst your mind is fresh. And maybe if you've got staff, their minds are fresh as well about what happened in December. So go and do that one anyway. If you're not a regular listener, listen to episode 45 on autopsies. In fact, if you're not a regular listener, please go back and listen to all of them. You can listen to them on the run, can't you? Literally, maybe you are running. You can listen to them on the run, listen to them in the car, listen to them in the gym, but catch up. And the whole idea of these broadcasts is to kind of kickstart your week. And it's not deep down, it's not deep coaching. It's really about trying to give you some sort of kickstart, some sort of inspiration to change something about you or your business. Now, let's get back to New Year. I can't believe that it's another new year. And this is the time of the year where we all have much, much, much higher energy. So have you got something planned for this week? Because most of you won't have anything planned. In fact, and I got to say sadly, not sadly as in unhappily, but unfortunately then, lots of you are going to be saying to yourself, no, not this week. I'm just going to settle back in. Now, is that sounding familiar? Have I hit a nerve? Have I hit a note there? Yeah, it's not too bad this week. Got a few clients. Maybe you got a member of staff off, or maybe it's a quiet, just going to settle back in. But there's no such thing, guys. There's no such thing as settling back in. This is business. You should have been diving in, running in, crashing in. You get the idea, right? For most of us, the new year signifies a lot of new energy. It's a new dawning, it's a new day, it's a new start, it's a new opportunity. And I think that, brings a lot of us heightened energy. And we do need it. We do need that heightened energy as we look forward to the next 11 or 12 months before we do the cycle all over again. And January is famous, isn't it? January is famous for New Year's resolutions. Now, I hear people saying that, no, I don't have them, Carl, because I don't stick to them and nobody sticks to them. So it's better not to have one than to actually break one. And well, I don't believe that. I think that if you are going to have a resolution, but you're going to do it. You're going to, if it's one you believe in, you will go and do it. It's where it's kind of a bit false, if you like, or something your heart isn't in, or something you don't believe in. Of course, that will go by the wayside. Now, when I was prepping for this podcast, I thought, let me just make some notes here. So I grabbed a dictionary, and it says this about resolution and what it means. So a resolution means a firm decision to do or not do something, a firm decision. But I also liked what is said about being resolute. It's the quality of being determined. Now, I think that that's like having a New Year's resolution every single day of your life. You've got to be determined to achieve whatever you want in your life. Now, I don't want to go off track too much by here, but maybe you've achieved other things in your life. You was determined to give up smoking. You were determined to lose weight. You were determined to do something in your life, change jobs, change careers. Well, you've got to have that same determination if you want to change your how can you say, your future, your fortune. And I'm talking, of course, about your business. If you've already been growing your business, if your business is on the up, if it's very strong already and you've made a lot of change, I mean sustained changes. Yeah, I don't mean like you've changed the colour of the salon and you've repainted. That's not a change, guys. That's just painting. I'm talking about things like maybe you've committed to different types of staff training. I will mention to you shortly about appraisals and how they are integral to the changes in your business, but maybe other things as well. Maybe you've been resolute about getting rebooking right, resolute about making retailing an integral part of your customer service. Well, if you've done any of those things, you've already shown resolve. And that tells me, and it tells you, it's telling you that you can have a New Year's resolution or a number of them, and implementing them are going to give you great results. Or if your business is dragging you down, or your business isn't doing as well as you would like to, when I say dragging you down, I mean not giving you the emotional and financial rewards that you deserve, then a resolution is exactly what you need. And yes, I do practice what I preach. I ensure that I have a New Year's resolution or multiple resolutions every year. In fact, I'm not adverse to having a resolution in August if I need it, if I need to resolve to get something done and something really, really important. Now, when I get my resolutions, and I'm going to tell you about a few of mine in a moment, just to give you an example, and you'll see that I'll follow up on my social media and I will tell people this is what I'm going to do. But the first thing is that when you publish them, it kind of makes you focus on that thing and it stops me from putting things off. Maybe it's things that I don't know, I don't really want to do, or I know they have to be done, but not just yet. I know that they have a big impact on my clients, or they have a big impact on my business, but they're a bit awkward, bit difficult, bit challenging, bit time consuming. Well, make that your resolution. Don't make it something that you're going to do anyway. Yeah, because you're just kidding yourself. And make sure you publish it. Now, I don't necessarily mean you publish it. I mean, tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. This is what I'm going to do. Because sometimes they'll hold you accountable. Yeah. And when you're held accountable, you're again more likely to do the thing that you want to do. Now, here's some examples about what I'm going to do. Like I said, sometimes they're boring, sometimes they're more difficult, sometimes they're time consuming, but you have to pick on things. And something that I've been thinking about for a number of weeks really is about my profile. And I'm thinking, I need to get my profile increased within the industry and outside it for that matter. So I set myself some targets and I said, right, now before the pandemic, and I'm going back a long way before, 2016, 17, 18, I was doing almost every event in the UK and some overseas in terms of, if I weren't working there, I would still be there and I would still talk to people and I'd have coffee with them and have dinner with them and I'd be on these stands. And I thought, we need to go back to that. We've got to re-establish some kind of personal profile. Now, I'm going to do the same on digital platforms as well. And that's why I invited you to join me on the podcast. And I shall be inviting people to join me on QCTV. So my number one resolution this year is to increase my profile. And it's going to mean doing things that are challenging and difficult and sometimes awkward and inconvenient and sometimes expensive, like traveling around the UK setting up events. And if there are no events for me to visit, I'm going to set my own up. So, I'm fully committed to that. So why not give yourself some resolutions. Look, I'd rather you just choose your own. Yeah, but if someone gives you a resolution, then you're not bought in, are you? You're not fully committed to it. But here's 3 that I want you to consider. But please don't have them unless you think that needs sorting out in my business and the returns would be amazing. The number 1, and probably the easiest, if you like, of the 3 is the appraisal system. I'm talking about it a lot. A, because I have a course on it, but because it is a foundation that will help you with the whole year. And because we know that getting staff is difficult and looking after staff is important. So maybe you could have your New Year's resolution is to implement formal appraisals with all of your team, even if there's just one other member of your team, and follow it through. You see, there's the resolution. I'm going to follow it through. I'm going to implement it and get it done. Secondly, I would look at retail sales. You've got to be all in on this. If you are going to resolve to increase and improve your customer service through retail sales, then you're going to get that return multifold. Is that the right word? Multiple times over and over then. You're going to get that return in sales. You're going to get it in profitability and you're going to get that in customer service. I don't know anyone who wouldn't want those things. And thirdly, which is one of the most daily fundamental things that you've got to master, is rebooking. And this doesn't matter what sector you're in at all. Rebooking clients to return before they leave the salon. Set yourself a target of 90% of people rebooking. Now we can delve deeper into this, which is what we do in the Massive Not Passive membership group, getting them to return at the shortest possible professional time. That takes some skill, but it is one area that if you don't master, you are going to waste an obscene amount of time and an obscene amount of money trying to get more and more new clients when you really don't have to. Look, so just choose one of them, or choose all of them, or choose them and add another 5. I don't really mind. Choose whatever you feel needs dealing with, no matter how difficult it is. Make sure you tell people around you that you're going to do it. Ask them to support you in that. Use January, guys, as your springboard for 2024. Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for all your support this year. It's been an absolute and fantastic year. Hopefully we will get to work together on different levels as the year goes on. Please tell other people about this podcast so we can reach and help other salon and spa owners around the world. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening to the Salon Help Good to Go podcast. Now please dive into the podcast show notes and pick up your link. Pick up your links for the podcast and pick up your links for all sorts of other things. Take care, guys. Happy New Year, and I'll catch you on the next episode.